Hey movie lovers! If you're into mind-blowing plot twists, Korean thrillers, and deep movie breakdowns, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into the horror thriller KillerToon, and trust me, this one will mess with your mind in the best way. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a recap or movie explainer just like this one. The movie opens with a brutal death. A publishing executive is found grotesquely murdered in her office, in a manner almost identical to a scene from a newly published Webtoon. What makes this disturbing isn't just the graphic violence, but the chilling precision of the resemblance. The Webtoon in question was created by Kang Ji-yoon, Lee Si-young, a well-known horror Webtoon artist famous for creating deeply disturbing stories that blend fear, guilt, and vengeance. The police are puzzled. Could the comic have inspired the killing? Or was it the blueprint? This eerie murder sets off a string of copycat, or perhaps predictive, deaths, all linked to Ji-yoon's upcoming episodes. A haunted mind. Detective Lee Ki-cheol, Ki-jun, a skeptic and a rationalist, is assigned to the case. He initially dismisses the supernatural angle, believing it's all a sick prank or a serial killer using the comic as a manual. Ji-yoon, meanwhile, is visibly disturbed. The murders match her comics before she uploads them. She begins to question her own sanity. In her Webtoon drafts, she sees gruesome images she doesn't remember drawing, hands broken at unnatural angles, eyes gouged out, victims kneeling in terror. But when she looks away and back again, the sketches sometimes change. Reality and art are starting to blur. Victims and revelations. More deaths follow. Each one mirrors an unreleased panel from Ji-yoon's comics. A critic who once humiliated Ji-yoon dies by being drowned in a bathtub full of ink and water, just like in a draft page. A former editor is found hung upside down, mouth stitched shut, identical to an upcoming panel. All the victims share one common trait: they had wronged Ji-yoon in the past. This pattern raises a terrifying question: is Ji-yoon subconsciously willing their deaths? Or is something else using her comics to execute revenge? Detective Lee starts digging into Ji-yoon's past and discovers that she was once a psychiatric patient, suffering from memory lapses and guilt after a traumatic event involving her art therapy group. Ji-yoon had once worked with a girl named Se-yoon, an abused, fragile girl with a strange connection to horror drawings. One day, Se-yoon was found dead in a shocking suicide, jumping from the building while covered in sketches. Ji-yoon was there when it happened. But what exactly happened that day? The supernatural strikes back. It's revealed that Se-yoon's ghost is now tied to Ji-yoon's comics. The trauma, unresolved guilt, and injustice of her death have awakened a supernatural force that manifests through Ji-yoon's drawings. Each panel becomes a cursed premonition. Detective Lee begins to believe the unthinkable: Ji-yoon is not the killer, but she's the medium. Her creative process has become haunted, possessed by Se-yoon's vengeful spirit, who now uses the comics to punish those who abused, manipulated, or abandoned her. Ji-yoon desperately tries to stop drawing, but the visions keep coming. The curse isn't just on her, it's in her hands. She tries to burn the sketchbooks, delete files, even physically injure herself to stop drawing. But the spirit finds ways, possessing her, moving her hand in her sleep, using digital glitches to continue the killings. Truth and tragedy. In a major twist, it's revealed that Ji-yoon had unwittingly played a role in Se-yoon's death. During one art therapy session, she mocked Se-yoon's drawing as being too derivative, and later, under pressure from the editor, she plagiarized part of Se-yoon's idea for her debut Webtoon. Quick pause: if you're still watching and loving this breakdown so far, go ahead and smash that like button to help more movie fans find this video. And let me know in the comments, what would you do if you started having visions like Seo Yoo-min? Alright, let's get back to the twists. When Se-yoon realized this, she felt betrayed. Isolated, abused, and now robbed of her only outlet, she took her own life. Se-yoon's spirit isn't just taking revenge on others, she's punishing Ji-yoon too. The last panel. Detective Lee arrives just as Ji-yoon begins drawing the final panel, a sketch of herself, dying in the same way Se-yoon did. He tries to stop her, but her hand moves involuntarily. As the panel is completed, Ji-yoon collapses, eyes wide with terror, falling from the balcony, mirroring the ghost's death. Her final image becomes the last published panel of her Webtoon. And it goes viral, haunting the screen. In the film's final scene, a new Webtoon artist is introduced, inspired by Ji-yoon's legacy. As she opens Ji-yoon's old sketchbook, she sees faint lines, almost invisible, but beginning to take shape on their own. The cycle is not over. The spirit of vengeance is still alive, and art is still its weapon. Guilt is haunting. The true horror isn't ghosts, it's what guilt and exploitation do to artists and victims alike. Ji-yoon didn't kill anyone, but her silence, plagiarism, and ambition contributed to tragedy. Art is power. KillerToon explores how creative work can influence reality, emotionally, socially, even metaphysically. In the digital age, where millions read content daily, what happens when fiction becomes prophecy? Mental illness and suppression. The film critiques how trauma victims are often dismissed, institutionalized, or forced into silence for the sake of public image and corporate profit. Revenge beyond the grave. Like many Korean horror films, e.g. Whispering Corridors, A Tale of Two Sisters, this movie taps into the idea of Han, a Korean cultural concept of unresolved resentment and grief that carries beyond death. Visual and audio style. Gruesome yet stylized death scenes mirror comic panel layouts. The blending of 2D illustrations and live action gives a surreal, uncanny vibe. The soundtrack shifts from low, atmospheric hums to high-pitched terror, reflecting mental breakdowns. Colors become more washed out as Ji-yoon spirals deeper into guilt. KillerToon is more than a horror movie, it's a psychological commentary on the cost of creativity, the danger of silent trauma, and how modern media can become a vessel for both healing and harm. It's a chilling reminder that some stories don't end when the page is turned. And there you have it, the full story and deeper meaning behind KillerToon. If this blew your mind like it did mine, go ahead and subscribe for more epic movie recaps, K-thriller breakdowns, and hidden twist explainers every single week. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment with what movie you want me to cover next. Until then, stay curious, and stay watching.